Hello guys, this is Harsha and I'm back with my Totem Day 33 live stream. So in this time, last time I have implemented broken jumping. So like this, and this is jumping, and this is how the platforms work. So now I want to simplify this jumping by moving the grass into a separate entity. I can set the collision with grass. So the this always stays on top of the grass. So I'll simply create a new grass entity. So grass is independent from the flow entity. Grass, add it to it, author, yes, super. And this extends entity to the public grass, and this takes a vector 2 as a position, and it's super. The first thing is the sprites. So resources dot sprites dot grass, and then the rectangle. So new rectangle, resources dot textures dot grass dot get width, and resources dot textures dot grass dot get height, and set depth. I'll be setting negative depth so that this occurs on renders on the top, and set position to position. So now grass is done. So I'll take out floor, and I'll simply take out this render method, and that logic is handle. So go back and just keep everything clean just to flow. So now in the play state I get an error. So this simply will be this. Okay, and here, and the logic, okay, sorry, I have a bit of cold. So first, okay, there is no need to iterate over all this, so simply add one grass. So new grass at a new vector 2, and this is I comma height. I comma height is the first position, and minus a bit higher, so 20 pixels upwards than the height. So if I run it, okay, so it is rendering, the depth is correctly sorted, but that is spawning at the same position. I want that to go back and die just like the flow. So I'll simply copy this, update, and paste this in grass. So now the grass should also get destroyed. So it's not okay. The velocity is not. So get velocity dot x equal to -4, the speed of this. So now the grass should keep moving back. Okay, and yeah, grass is being rendered correctly. So now instead of this, I will be setting my collisions to grass. So back in the play state, I'll be registering this monster with not the floor, but instead grass. and here in the monster class, just instead of grass, and there is no need to set minus 50, and here I will keep this as well, so it just moves over the grass. So I think it seems pretty natural. Okay, other positions y minus our height, right? Okay, this is the correct equation. Okay, I have a different equation, so it works, and I can now jump perfectly, and it works. So it seems a bit more natural now. Okay, so I'll instead make it a full rotation. I think that's good. So rotate to it's 90, and so I'll simply remove the minus here. So it will rotate in a clockwise direction. So jump. Okay, okay. So instead of left or right, I'll simply keep one. Rotation is equal to angle, return. Otherwise, rotate on the step angle. And I should also take the case where I should set the step angle to the minimum of the rotation. So if the difference between angle and the two rotation, so and I also want to make the angle positive. Okay, the angle is always positive, so I don't want to take this. And now check the difference between them. So if rotation minus angle is less than step angle, so this should be magical dot absolute, that is the always positive. So step angle is equal to mathutils dot absolute rotation minus angle. So this will be the correct step angle. So that should work very good, I think. Once jump, jump again. Okay, okay, this is not good. I'll simply use the previous equation. It just works better. And here I will just provide negative delta, negative step angle. So now it should go pretty fine, I think. Jump, and okay, if it is this, and it works fine. Okay, I want to allow double jumping, and the jumping will only take place for a lesser period of time. I want to decrease this is 1 second, so only 1 second. So the total jump time will be 2 seconds. So it is working for 3 times. Okay, so like this, I want to. Okay, there is a is on ground that we are not checking. So here, if is on ground, unclick space. So now we can only jump on once. So this is here. I can jump, but I cannot initiate a second jump. So yes, it works. So again testing. Okay, so jumping is good, but not the platform generation. So jumping is done, and the is ground value is done. So now getting back to the play state. Okay, so the floor spawning is the only thing that has issues now. And once this is done, I can quickly add the background music, and I have to implement the thorns. So the floor spawn timer will run now a bit faster so that the large gaps can be filled easily. Okay, so every 3 seconds. So before 3 seconds, I'll also call 800. So first two platforms are created first before the initialize. So this is the first platform, and then the second platform, and then the third platform, and the fourth, the fifth, and this is monster run. Yeah. So now the monster works good. So yeah. So yeah, the basic mechanic of the game is now done. So now I think it's time to add the thorns, which we should be avoiding. I will make this a more, say, okay, let's get the back to 3.5 to increase some gap between the platforms. So basically, there needs to be some gap. Otherwise, the game will be more easier to do. And yes, it works. So yeah, so yes, the first thing is it is easier. Okay, the random. It's not much easier now, and the gap between platforms exists. Okay, so the spawning is done. So now I'll be creating. Let me check. Okay, I've added the resources for the thorns also before that. So I'll just create a new class thorns. This thorns is just another entity. Okay, I will simply copy flow because it is pretty much the same as flow thorns. Okay, and rename this with thorns and this. So, and here thorns, thorns, and thorns. So now everything is the same as the floor. So now in the play state, I have to add another spawn timer. So private game timer, and this game timer is for thorn spawn timer. So thorn spawn timer is equal to new game timer, and this takes place for every 7 seconds. So every 7 seconds, and it needs a callback. That is, once the timer ticks, this code will be executed. So the only run when the current game state is the play state. That is, if requested, just kill itself after the play state, the current state changes. So now I'll have to add a new method called spawn thorn, and this thorns might be maxwell. Okay, okay, I have to integrate these thorns into the spawn flow because they should be on the floor. So there is no thorn spawn timer because the height of the thorn should be on the thorn. So while checking, I'll add thorns if there is a chance of 10%. Okay, that's good. So if match dot chance and the percentage is 10, and if there is percent chance of 10%, I'll be adding a scene dot add child, new thorns, and a new vector to I, and height minus resources dot textures dot thorns dot get height. So let me check how this works out. Where there is a thorn on the starting. Okay, so I think 10% is a lot more, and we have to avoid these thorns. Okay, it gets more. So for the first two platforms, I wish there should be no thorns. So let's make it use thorns. Boolean place thorns. If this will be place thorns and match it with a chance of 10%. And here in the callback, we place it true, and otherwise this will be false because for the first spawn, first spawns. So now it should be pretty good playable. Okay, for first two times there won't be any thorns. Okay, so here, okay, and I also want to control the process that thorns should not be in the first two locations of the platform, two tiles of the platform, like this. So I just use another condition, and then okay, I will keep another counter, and tile counter is equal to 0. Okay, here. Okay, let's just, okay, there is no need to declare it here. I is equal to start x, tile counter is equal to 0, I plus equal to, and tile counter plus, and then tile counter is greater than 2, and so the first, okay, it's first two positions, right? So this should be 1 since the index starts with 0. Okay, now we omit this. So now at every spot. So now it should be more controlled. So there should be no horns appearing on the first two. Okay, there is after the third one, and at the last, okay, jump again. Yeah. So yes, this is now pretty playable, I think. Okay. So yeah, till now all good. And there are thorns. There is no collision detection with thorns. So go to play state and register the monster class with thorns.class. And in the monster, back in monster class, okay, there should be no spaces. I don't like it that way. Okay, other instance of class, we are just moving it out. Else, if other instance of thorns, okay, where instance of thorns are the same happens with the, okay, else if other instance of thorns, we have to do simply restart the level for now. So to do add more states. So since there is only one state, I'll simply set game dot set game state to a new play state. Discard the old one and set to the new one. Else, if other instance of floor, okay, for the floor collision, we want to clear the floor, or when we collide with floor, a corner of the floor might collision where we also collision with gross. So I want to check whether the only the vertical distance between the entity and the floor is greater than 40 pixels. So if the vertical distance comparison, I'm going to use the square. So the first thing, if get center dot x, sorry, y times get center dot y square minus the horizontal distance y square minus that y square, sorry, plus other dot get center dot y times other dot get center dot y is greater than, the distance is greater than 40. Okay, since the square it is always positive and the distance is 40 pixels, so square it as well, 40 square. Then I'll simply get it to reset again. That game state, new play state. Okay, now if I run this, it should collision correctly with the thorns and okay, it perfectly collides with thorns and perfectly with the grass and not the floor. Okay, now let's check the thorns. Yeah, it resets. Okay, so now I will stop jumping to collision with. Okay, something has happened. Okay, is greater than 40 this. I'll have to, okay, I'll move this distance and floor distance is equal to this. So here I can debug this. So here this is, okay, okay. I didn't add the collision detection with floor. Monster class and check with floor class. And floor should be checked before the grass. So now it should work pretty good. It should just work fine the way it is. So go and it restarts and it restarts. And now restarts again. Okay. I didn't add the spelling logic. Oh no. Is this here? Wait. So in the grass or monster, I will check this with 40 square. Okay. So I will keep a debug on this context. So now I have clicked debug. So this is not colliding. And now it does. Distance is greater than 40 square. Distance is greater than 40 square. Is greater than 40 square. Okay. So let me continue. So I'll check playing for the possible edge cases. Okay, this should not trigger that. Get up. Okay, it is. Let me test it with 50. distance is greater than 50 pixels. So this should trigger, and this should not, and this should not as well. Okay, no, I need to find a platform where the platforms are just the sides, side by side, very near, so that it simply works. Okay, I need to first reduce the size of prompts. So the width minus width minus, okay, 10, and height minus 10, and get polygon dot set translate by 10 comma 10. So reduce the area of bronze. So I should better try tracing it. Public void render float delta and s s badge sprite batch called batch, and first render it normally, and then graphics studio dot get instance dot drop polygon and get polygon. So thorns will get a polygon. So now should be lesser. Okay, this is the polygon of the new thorn. Shrink one. I want to shrink it even more. 10, and on Y 15. Yeah, this should work very good. I don't care if they, okay, okay. Uh, I want to make it even more. Okay, 25 down, and width is 20. Reduce it by 20. So now the font should look good. So thorn, come up, my dear thorn. Okay, it works for the possible edge cases. Corner position. Hey, where are my thorns? Why aren't they getting added? Hmm. Okay, there is done. Okay, the same goes. I want to do this to the monster also, so that better collision happens. and the translate -10 -20, like the same, right? Okay, 2020, and translate it by 10 comma 10, and place the rendering code on the monster as well. Okay, so if I run it now, okay, okay, why I'll translate it more like 50. This has to be adjusted manually. Okay, okay, this works if I set the center before that. Okay, the same is resulting by should be in the center. Yeah, it's not rendering. Okay, why have this all this was? Get it? Even if some hard, it will be. And yet leave the thorns like this there. Okay, delete this, and the monster, delete this even. So let me run, and it should be playable for this moment. Okay, it's back good working at it again. I now need core, that is the distance, and I want to add, say, the lives and some background music as well. So since I got the thorns and the basic things working,